Guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I am your host, Travis D. Cartoon Joe can be with us tonight. He has to do Jesus stuff, sermons, thingies. I don't know what he really does. Something with the Lord. I don't like to interfere in that business. I'm not alone. I mentioned, I believe, recently on one of our shows that we're going to have the hosts, both of them, of Babes of Lore back onto This Freakin' Show. Since they just wrapped up the first season of Supernatural, we want to kind of touch base and see how they've been doing so far. So I got Lyndsay and Morgan here. You guys can say hi at this moment if you like.
Hello.
Hello.
God, you don't have to like force out the hello.
We're so happy to be here, Travis. We're just happy.
I get it, but the hello sounds so scripted.
You literally just told us to say hello.
Well, yeah, but when you say hello, you're like, hello, not hello. like you're reading a fucking script or something. Hell no. Here's the one thing I will tell you that I really look forward to one day. Because, still at this point, I never met Lyndsay in person.
It will be documented when it happens, though. Don't worry. It'll happen.
I believe that 100%. Here's the thing, though. I wish that I have found a way to tell you guys apart verbally. Still can't do it. Even though I had you guys on the show last October, and even though I was just on your show a few weeks ago, and now that you're here, I still can't tell who is talking.
Well, that's sad, especially since you listen to our podcast every week.
But the thing is, so here's it. You guys have, you don't have the same cadence in your voice, but your tones are very similar.
Well, everybody thinks we're sisters, so.
That's true.
It's the eyebrows. It's the eyebrows, the big
Only in the eyebrows.
Huh?
Only in the eyebrows.
Well, I mean, we both have, we sport the bushy eyebrows, man. From day one. I never thinned mine out. I don't know if you did, but we both have curly dark hair and glasses and bushy eyebrows. That's about it.
And apparently we have the same tone.
And apparently we have the same tone to our voice.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me try it out. Let me see if we can figure this out before we dive into your show. So okay. I need one of you just to say something, and I'm going to try to guess on who it is.
Hi, Travis.
That is Lyndsay.
Good job.
Is that it?
Yep, you got it.
Excellent. I don't think that's going to help at all. I want to have you guys back on, and I think this is actually a perfect opportunity because I believe from what you said in your last episode that you're playing like a week break in between doing the season. Is that correct?
Yes, a spring break. Number 2.
What are you eating right now?
I told her, but she didn't listen to me. So yes, we did take a week break in between season 1 and season 2. So season 2 will start next week.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And so we thought perfect opportunity because originally I think the idea was, well, at least I had a thought. It was like, oh, well, you know what? This is exactly what happened. I told Joe that, we're gonna have the Babes of Lore back on in October. But then I was like, why wait? I mean, I could easily have you guys back in October. I'd love to have you guys on as much as possible because you are delightful to talk to, regardless of your opinions on John Winchester.
I knew that was coming.
If you listen to last week's episode in the season finale, I was slightly nicer. She was.
You were, and you actually kind of agreed with me slightly.
Only a little bit.
Only a little bit, yeah. Which is fine because I mean normally people want to disagree with me because I'm a kind of a douchey guy when I give my opinions, but once people start listening to it more, I get this a lot over on JFW, where people are like, oh, Travis, he's an asshole. But once they actually listen to it for a second time, they're like, you know what, he ain't that wrong.
Hey, I like to think I'm pretty right about some of my opinions as well, but
all of her opinions.
See, this is perfect. You guys should keep doing this because now I know the person that has their food in their mouth when they're talking is Morgan.
I'm sorry. I had my post-workout meal. I couldn't just stuff it down my throat. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm not touching that one. Anyway, so Okay, so we're gonna talk about Supernatural. I want to talk about how you guys are progressing through your first season. Before we do any of that, I want to remind our listeners that if you're a fan of comics and you like collecting them or reading them, make sure you go to CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. Go to CarterComics.com, check out all their amazing selections, fill up your cart, use the discount code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET. You'll save 10% on your entire order. Not just at their website, but also on their 4 different eBay accounts. And you can find links to each of those accounts just at their homepage at CarterComics.com. Use the discount code at eBay, whether you bid or buy outright, because our discount code of 10% off using FreakNet will work on their eBay as well. Again, it's a discount code, not a promo code, because discount codes can be used over and over and over and over and over and over again. Not a one-time deal like promo codes. Promo codes suck. Again, CarterComics.com, one-stop shop for all your comic needs. Okay, guys. Season one of Supernatural is now officially over, according to the Babes of Lore. So, I want to kind of get into your thoughts, and I don't know how easy this will be for you guys or not, because the first episode you put out, we're looking at about 22 weeks ago, give or take. So, if you guys can remember back, I want you guys to kind of give me an idea of how you felt doing your very first episode. I want to start there and kind of work our way here to the end.
Yeah.
Who's talking first?
I can talk first. That's fine.
Anyone who doesn't have food in their mouth at the moment may talk.
I don't have any chicken in my mouth. Thank you.
Anyway.
Wait, hold on. Were you eating chicken?
Chicken and rice and quinoa.
Quinoa, gross. What kind of chicken? Did you cook it? Did you buy it somewhere?
It's just baked chicken.
Oh, okay. So you made it at home.
Yeah, so like the healthy crap.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. You know what? Chicken's also delicious after an interview, but hey, whatever you want to do.
I had a 45-minute window. Okay.
Anyway, I told her it was rude. I gave her 12 minutes and she didn't listen to me. So, back to your question, Travis. So going into the first episode, at least I was pretty nervous. Mm-hmm. Just thinking about, oh my God, we're going to record ourselves and we're going to put it out into like the ether. And, when you have a tendency to put things out into the ether, especially the internet, people can be kind of mean. And fortunately, we've not had that experience. But, it's a little nerve-wracking and you have to be kind of vulnerable.
I think I definitely tried too hard. As my brother told me, his words exactly were, I listened to the first 6 minutes, and that's 6 minutes of my life that I won't get back. And he said that I was trying too hard to be funny, and that I just need to be myself. I don't think he's listened to an episode since.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I don't agree with your brother at all. I didn't think you were funny at all.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I am totally kidding 100%. No, I think what works well for you guys, and I actually went back and I was listening to the interview we did with you guys before your first show even came out. Which I actually loved doing that when I was thinking about, because at first when initially I was on the Joe, I was like, hey, here's our situation. So the Babes of Lore is going to put out an episode, and I believe it was either the Wednesday following the end of Halloween, or it was maybe the first Wednesday into November. I can't quite remember which Wednesday it was. But I know we interviewed you guys before your first show went out. And when I was talking to Joe, I was like, okay, here's the situation we have. I want to have the Babes of Lore on, and I want to talk about their show. But I want to do it during this freaky show because Halloween, Supernatural, and everything kind of all ties together. And it's weird thinking that we're going to interview somebody who hasn't put the content out yet, because typically we kind of talk about what the content is, not what the content's going to be. And when I went back and I was listening to the interview and everything, one of the things I remember talking about, especially in that interview, and I think we talked a little bit about when the interview was over, is that I think there's banter between you guys that just would work. And I think a lot of that has to do with family. I mean, me and Joe are, we're step siblings and everything, and we've known each other going on, I think 19 years, something like that, give or take. And doing, obviously, podcasting together for 8 years, we developed just a back and forth banter and everything. And with you guys, it just kind of clicked, and I think a lot of that has to do with you guys being cousins. And I don't know what your brother was talking about. Sounds like he's full of shit. I don't know. Never met the guy.
Wow.
Yeah. But you could tell him that. I have no problem.
His eyes are brown, so.
There we go.
So are Lyndsay's. I love you. Kidding.
But the problem with listeners like your brother is that you have to give shows an opportunity. Regardless of how you feel within the first 6 minutes, the first 6 minutes is really just kind of an introduction and talking, especially like what you guys do. I love how you guys don't like just start up and dive right into the show. There's a banter there, you know, kind of like I don't know, like a monologue kind of thing or whatever the hell you want to call it, to where you open up the show. And I think that's incredible because it gives people more of an insight in who you are. And I think people connect better with listeners of podcasts when they kind of relate to them. I think a few times, one of you guys were sick and you talked about that for a little bit. And I think doing stuff like that is incredible. So I'm glad you guys figured that out on your own, obviously. But I mean, like, and I also mentioned, you know, before, it's like what you guys are doing, it's not new, but it's different. You guys are doing it in a unique way. And, I'm trying to figure out how I want to answer. See, it's so much easier when Joe's here because he could tell me what I'm thinking because we're that in sync now. But when you guys got past the first episode and you kind of figured out where your format is, I know there were little things that you kind of changed and everything. I know season finale, you guys, you know, mentioned that you did something completely different. Compared to like the first 21. Was it 21 episodes the first season 1 or 22?
22 total, yeah.
22 total. So 1 through 21 you did differently than episode 22. Sure. I loved what you did in episode 22.
Yes.
Especially being like buzzed while doing it.
That was legit.
It was that legit.
That was not acting. Like, I really did not feel okay. Never again. Never again. I did not like it. It was so weird.
Well, what was weird about it?
Well, like, I suffer from vertigo sometimes, and so it was almost like I was going through like a vertigo spell, but the room wasn't spinning. But I still had like the fuzziness and the lightheadedness and everything. Like, moving felt weird. I tried to sit still because moving it was a rough time. It was only like 45 minutes though. I think by the very end it was gone. So.
I enjoyed it.
I've never been tipsy before, but you know what? It was a rough day, and I refused to let Zach drink my good vanilla rum that I can't get in town, and so I was like, no, you're not gonna finish my crap. I don't think so. And then, yep. And then I recorded a podcast.
See, and that's another thing I love about, you know, this is how I learned the difference between you guys. Because one of you throws out crap. And I know the other one would have said shit.
And see, I think that's the other reason why we work so well together is because I'm completely unfiltered and Morgan has this adorable, innocent filter on her.
Oh, 100%. She is definitely like the poster child for like Sunday schools.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should take her photo and plaster it all over everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that good.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question, Morgan.
Oh boy.
Okay. So I never asked you this before, so I don't know the answer. Have you ever participated in a Sunday school or a child daycare at church as an adult?
No. Well, no. Like, my freshman year of college, I was still kind of sort of lingering as a youth group leader, but...
Yeah. You want to know why? Because you look like that.
What?
You like the kind of person that, like, if I saw you walking down the street, you would probably wear, like, a very long fucking dress that goes past the ankles because you don't show off the calves and shit. That's a no-no. Shame on you. That's right. There's like 3 books in your hands. One's a Bible. One is like that fucking novel, like, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And I'm assuming a study book from college, which I'm assuming possibly would have been Olivet or some kind of Christian-based school, with your hair pulled back because that's how ladies are supposed to look. Just looking down and quiet because you don't want to make eye contact with the boys because boys are evil.
Travis.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I cannot wait to meet you in person because you and I are gonna get along so well.
This is not allowed to happen.
Like,
absolutely
like,
not.
Literally every single word out of your mouth is exactly what I would say.
No!
Right,
I am not a poster child of Sunday school.
Just in general. Not just about you, but just in general.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
just 100% about you though, because when I look at you, that's exactly what I see. I'm like, oh, geez, she is definitely in like the front row pews at church. And
I'm not. It's row 4.
Okay.
Row number 4.
Holy hell! With your family or by yourself? With your family, right?
With Zach and my mom, yeah.
Perfect. Knew it.
Shut up.
What kind of church do you go to?
This is quite an interview.
Well, we're gonna get back to your podcast, but now we're trying to learn more about you guys. Hymns, right? You go to a church that has hymns, or is it more like the new age rock music kind of church?
That's the new age stuff.
Is it? Perfect. Okay. Quit eating on the interview.
Hey, Travis, I have a confession to make.
I'm 100% ready to hear it.
I'm currently drinking alcohol.
Oh my gosh, it has 5%.
I'm just saying.
What is it though?
Technically, it's gone.
What is it? What are you drinking?
It's something Morgan had in her fridge. It's simply spiked peach. It's a seltzer.
Oh, okay. I'm a salsa person.
Me too. Corona's the best.
Sunny D seltzer.
See, I love Truly Teas.
No.
Corona. You don't like Truly Teas?
No, Truly's gross. I've had all of the seltzers. Corona is the best.
But do you like tea at all?
Yeah, I love tea.
So have the Truly Tea. It doesn't have that carbonation seltzer taste. It has a tea taste, a raspberry, a lemon. I believe there's maybe a strawberry one or something like that. They're phenomenal. And then White Claw Black Cherry is also on my top. I love anything cherry. Love cherry flavored anything. Dr. McGillicuddy's, if you love cherry, Dr. McGillicuddy's.
Black Cherry White Claw is the only White Claw worth drinking.
It is very good.
I will tell you this, if you can get it, because it's hard to get, you should try the Corona Seltzer Pineapple, because the pineapple is the best flavor. It's hard to get, but it is. If you can ever find it, you should try it.
I'm gonna put on my list. God, we do gotta meet.
I know, telling you, man.
No.
You're married, right?
I'm married, yes. I've been married for almost 10 years.
Don't you dare take her away from me.
I would never. Listen.
He's already thinking about it. You asked if she was single.
No, I did. I asked if she was married because I remember that being part of the conversation. She married your cousin. I remember. See, I told you. I just listened to the interview no more than 2 hours before we were recording here tonight. I just want to make sure everything was good. Calm down. Hell's bells. Jeez, don't go all pews on me here, kid. Fuck. But, okay, let me ask you guys this then. Okay, because obviously you guys know you guys work well together. But you do kind of have different personalities. That's obvious. Do you think that benefits you guys? Do you guys agree it benefits you and your podcast then? Like how you guys could kind of, I guess the best way to explain it, like you have two magnets that you can kind of push together, and even though they're in the same area, that they kind of push off each other. Do you think that's a benefit to you guys on your show?
I definitely think so, because it's kind of like an opposites attract sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, we balance each other out in, as far as humor is concerned. I mean, and we have some similar, humors, that's what she said sorts of things. But, I do think we balance each other out, and it makes for even better banter, as far as that goes.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, we have a lot of similar interests, so like our personalities, like we both have the very sarcastic, sassy sense of humor, but like she cusses, I don't. I have a little bit more of a filter, she doesn't. But we do have like similar interests and stuff, so yeah, I definitely think it's a really good balance of like what is similar, what is different, and we definitely don't have to try hard.
I think honestly, if we were a more similar people in the way in our personalities, I think it would be boring.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'd be like the same two people talking about the same thing and looking at things in the same way, where she might see something or feel a certain way about something, and I may be on the opposite side of that or see something different. So I think that, you know, it makes it for a more interesting conversation instead of us both just having the same exact opinion about something.
Yeah, but it's definitely not planned. It all just like, cause like there was one time like years ago when we were making Game of Thrones cakes. Yeah. And we were just joking around, having a great time. I don't think she got home until like 11 o'clock at night. And we're like, we should be YouTubers. We are so funny. And like our moms were just sitting there just like, what are they doing? And we're just like, are we drunk or are we sober? I don't know. And it was, cause we were just, I don't know. We were just being ridiculous and being hilarious. And we're like, we should film ourselves doing whatever it is we're doing because we're really funny. And then years and years later, we have a podcast.
What was the idea for YouTube? If you were to, was it going to be like a show, like, not, I mean, I guess it wasn't like a show based on Supernatural.
No,
but like
a baking show.
Yeah, like we were gonna like bake, and I think we didn't really talk about it very seriously, but it was gonna be something like, you know, are we sober or are we just funny or something like that? And we were just gonna bake.
Yeah, we were just gonna bake and then just banter and joke around, and we are horrible at decorating cakes and whatever. Like Lyndsay can bake like no other, but decorating is not our forte, but she can at least, it tastes good. It doesn't have to look good, it just tastes good. And so we were just having a fun time, just decorating cakes, and it was just, yeah.
And I think it may have planted the seed a little bit that kind of grew into what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I throw an idea out to you guys? Just as I sit here and listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do this, but it'd be a pretty sweet fucking idea. Start a YouTube channel. You call it Babes of Lore, whatever. And start cooking. Do the baking like you said it. You call the show Bake of Lore.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
Right.
Well, Lyndsay is starting like a little side hustle cookie business called the Cookie Babe. So that is kind of like it's not Supernatural based at all, but she just kind of kept the whole babe thing going, and
yeah. Absolutely, 100%. I think it's awesome. But what you could do is, you could do Bake of Lore, you could do it on YouTube, and you could pull up like old traditional like baking recipes and cook them and stuff, you know, bake them and shit, like things from like the 1920s or the 1840s, you know, shit like that. And talk about the history of it. Man.
Travis.
Yeah, what's up?
I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. I do not need one more thing.
It's very true.
I mean, I'm just throwing an idea out there. I'm not saying you have to do it. It's just I'm just saying, Bake of Lore.
You know, it's a good idea, and then I'll never have any free time.
I know.
Solid fucking idea.
We're already like stretched, man. Like it's a miracle that we make time to do the podcast every week.
Well, and I love that you guys are staying consistent with it. I know I know there was a couple breaks around the holidays and everything, which is totally understandable. We do that as well here at this Freakin show. But consistency was always a thing that I pushed and encouraged people, even though I was a huge problem when it came to consistency with our show. I mean, when I look at it, like we've been doing this for 8 years, technically I should be at like 400 episodes right now, and I think we're just on the brink of like 300 right now, so we are definitely way behind. But that's because I allow my personal problems to affect my social life and my extracurriculars. Been better, thank God. It's been a lot better, a lot easier to move forward with that. But I remember when I was first listening, I want to say it was like maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I was really getting into who you guys were personality wise. Obviously it's a little bit different when you're trying to figure out who the fuck is talking, but when you start to figure out who's who and the personalities of the people, it's hard to not compare you guys to Sam and Dean in Supernatural. You know, you got Lyndsay, who's more Deanish. And,
what? And, she's literally putting her hand on her chest oh, I love that. I was like, of course you love Pete Jensen. He's a babe, dang it.
Well, just wait till I finish. And then you get Morgan, who's, almost Sam-like. And it's looking at more of like, Sam, in college and, just living like that normal-esque life, which when you look at, Morgan, you think like, oh shit, she's a turkey sub, very, just, she's a sandwich, not like, there's no peppers and, Italian dressing, lettuce, tomatoes, just turkey, cheese, and white bread. In a very nice way. I'm just saying this in a very positive way. You're white bread. It's fine.
You just called me a basic white girl, but it's okay.
I called you a sandwich, which I'm a huge fan of sandwiches. It's a compliment. I'm just saying. You could be more like Lyndsay, who's on like an artisan roll with like maybe like some, Italian meats and cheeses like provolone or mortadella, capicola, bruschetta, shit like that. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you guys an idea of my mindset going into this. I'm a fat guy. I love sandwiches.
She gets a bougie sandwich and I get white bread? White bread sucks.
Listen, Morgan, listen. You don't want to be, you want, throw some fucking mustard in your life. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Please be multi-grain bread? The healthy stuff?
Do you think that's better?
Definitely be multi-grain bread. The more seeds, the better.
I don't touch that white bread crap. I'm all about the fancy multi-grain nonsense.
So just to be clear, you don't like the fact that I called you a basic sandwich, but you think higher fiber makes you better?
Yes!
Oh,
that stuff is important. I am like a nutrition.
Let the man finish his thought.
Yeah,
sure.
geez.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, don't go all Genesis on me. Calm the fuck down. But when you look at like the first few episodes of Supernatural in season 1, before you start to dive into what happened to Sam and how it starts affecting him, with the flashbacks and the dreams and all, or not so much flashbacks, I'm sorry, but the dreams and the what's the word I'm looking for? The where he sees the images. I can't remember what the hell they called it.
Like his visions? Visions?
There you go. Visions. Thank you. God, thanks, Lady Joes. You see a weird kind of turn in their characters, where Sam goes from being, the normal guy to now he's more of the aggressor, leading to the end of the season. With the cult trying to get back into, the house after the demon, and then you see Dean, who is the hard ass, but now he's kind of becoming more compassionate and more of the emotional one in the group. And it's weird because, like, I don't remember that happening when I watched season 1, for the multiple time, but years ago, because I didn't start watching Supernatural again until you guys started your podcast, and I don't watch the episodes until your episode comes out. But it's weird to see how their characters change so rapidly just in 22 episodes. And then when you look at the next, I don't know, what the hell is it, like 400 episodes to follow that's going to be happening or anything like that, you see how their personalities go back and forth. So it comes a time where, Morgan, who's, the multi-grain turkey sandwich, is no longer Sam, but almost Dean-like.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. But that's what I love about it. I think that's the biggest thing about your guys' personalities going into this show, is that it works together because it's completely separate. And it's like you said, I think that's what makes the balance of your show works, because it's not so, straightforward, cut and dry. This is the BBC, the British bullshit channel, where, you have like people who are in total agreement of what's going on. Like, you guys have your different, perspectives on the show. And, one of the bigger things I did love about, the season finale, how you guys did it differently, and not the drunk part, but the fact that you watched it while doing the show, I think is absolutely incredible. I think it develops a different perspective on the show for you guys. Because, before you started doing this, when was the last time you watched season 1? Like, actually watched season 1?
Oh, goodness.
For me, it's probably been a few years.
Yeah. I binge watched, like, Supernatural, like, in college, I think. And that was, like, my first time being exposed to it. So it's been a hot minute. And so there are a lot of episodes where I'm like, I don't even remember this. Like, I remember the monster, but I don't necessarily remember how the story progressed. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, see, and that's another thing that I found out too. I don't know if you guys are the same, but I didn't realize how many of the monsters I remembered were all in this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of very classic episodes in the first season, and I think a lot of episodes that everyone kind of associates with Supernatural. You know, as far as I think season 2 will be that way a little bit too, but definitely a lot of those really classic monsters for sure.
I remember in the episode that you were on, you were talking about, I think we talked about it on air, not off, I can't remember. But you had said something about how the storylines are going to progress and how there's going to be more research. And I'm just thinking about all the stories we have coming. And so it's going to make cause sometimes our research is like, what do we look up? Or we've already talked about this, so we can't really look it up again. And so, I'm excited for the research that is coming because we're going to have more detailed episodes. But like, this is definitely just like the pilot episode, and it's hard to like not talk about what happens later because like so much happens, and so it's hard to just like be moving at the slower pace to like get up to like the really good stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, and this is why my mind is not the best place to go to when you think about what happened anyways, is because what you just said, I'm pretty sure is exactly what you yourself said in your season finale.
Oh.
Actually, I think you are correct, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she said. Because she's very excited about it.
I mean, I'm okay if you want to give me credit for it, but I think that's exactly what you said on air in the season finale about the research, because I think the research is awesome how you guys do it. And I know there comes times where it is difficult to do the research on the shows. And especially like not even so much finding something that's relatable to the episode, but I believe you said this too, is like how many episodes can you talk about demons? You know, it's like when the one episode is solely based on a demon, it's like, how much research can you find that's collectively about demons, and how many times can you repeat it? But like, I mean, obviously, I think the first episode with the lady in white, there's so much. I'll use the word lore out there that's related to the woman in white. So I mean, that one is pretty simple if you want to search, you know, Resurrection Mary and all those other ones. I mean, I think there's ones out in California, Nevada, shit like that too. But I mean, when you sit there and you look at what's coming up, because I'm trying to remember how many, which is weird not binge watching Supernatural, because I've binge watched it every single time I watched it. Except for this time, because I said I'm only doing week by week. I want to follow you guys through the adventure here. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, what monsters did happen and what monsters still have to come? Because I know there's one coming up. I want to say it's either season 2 or season 3, which is one of my favorite episodes, but I just can't remember what season it is when they're staying at that, kind of like a bed and breakfast, an old antique hotel with the old lady up in the attic. So, you guys remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I love that episode so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love stuff like that. I mean, I know that's like researchable. I think there's an episode with like a killer clown in it. Things
I'm
like
not
that.
looking forward to those episodes.
Those, I mean, the research on it, it's pretty, I think you guys be okay on that. But then when you look at like the ones where it's like, okay, Dean was infected by a spirit or a monster that makes him scared to death.
Yellow Fever? You mean literally the best Dean episode ever?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Let me ask you a question. Being fans of Dean and women, what do you think it was the best? And I mean, this is going for those who don't know Supernatural, you may not know it, but those who do, well, which scene was better? The scene where he opens the cabinet, sees the cat, screams, says, "That was scary." Or Sam and Dean putting themselves into a mental institute, getting caught by the nurse. Dean drops his pants and yells, "Pudding."
The cat one. That was scary.
But they're both so good.
I know, but
I gotta go with the pudding one. I think that's the funniest one.
It's pretty funny because he truly did that on the character did it on the fly. Like, it wasn't like, something was influencing him. He was like, how do we get out of this? Like, I'm going to drop my pants and act like a crazy person. It's great because, and I keep saying this in the episodes, Dean is so smart.
Yep.
And he likes to they like to kind of play off that Dean is like, Sam's so studious, he went to college, he's so smart, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Dean is so intelligent and he thinks on his feet so fast and he has all this knowledge and it's just not, I went to college knowledge. It's like street smart knowledge and he just is so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I agree. I think, I don't know why, first of all, I don't know how they had the idea to develop the character like that. Because, I mean, obviously when it comes to the hunting and everything, both guys were trained by John. And obviously, Dean's the one that has John's journal, which I don't know if you guys had a chance yet. And I know I asked you this in October, and I'm pretty sure I asked you this a couple weeks ago. But the TV show Winchesters, 100% recommend you guys watch it if you haven't had a chance yet. Because the season finale incorporates a lot of what we learned in the beginning of Supernatural. John's journal starts up. They're in the car driving. I think they actually use, what the hell is that? Driver picks the music, shotgun shuts their cake hole, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that's mentioned in that episode. And I don't think they officially mentioned if they're going to do a season 2 yet or not. I hope they do because I love the idea. Because first off, young Bobby Singer hasn't made an appearance yet, and that still bothers me. But it's an incredible story, and it's an awesome little twist with the last episode. And I don't know if you guys go on TikTok and seen what happens in the last episode, or went online to see what happens in the last episode. But it's an incredible season finale. But I don't want it to be a series finale. It's kind of like the ending to Supernatural. Like, I wish they didn't use the last episode to end the fucking series. And I hope this isn't the end because they opened it up for so much more. Let me ask you guys about the end season finale, though. Biggest question is, how did you feel about doing it differently, doing the watch-along compared to, watching it and then doing the show? Did you feel that it was easier or you guys liked it better?
So, I really just wanted to do something a little bit different to celebrate the fact that we did, that we made it to the season finale of season 1. Mm-hmm. And I think listening back to it, because I don't know if this is narcissistic of me or not, but I always go and listen to the episodes because I like to give myself notes basically. Yeah. But going back and listening to it after we recorded it, it was like, it wasn't as broken up as I thought it was going to be. I was worried that it was going to be obvious that we were pausing it, watching it, and coming back, but I felt like it was very fluid. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun to watch it together and be able to be like, oh my god, we need to pause it right now and talk about this. Like, mm-hmm. That part was really great. I don't think Morgan agrees with me, but I don't think I want to do that every single episode by any means. I think it's something special that we should save for certain episodes. But it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It's easier for time, because sometimes we struggle with making time to watch the episode and then do the research, and honestly, there are times where Lyndsay wouldn't have research and I did, or I wouldn't have research and Lyndsay did, because it's just like, I just didn't have time, or I just didn't know what to look up, what have you. And so when it comes to like watching it together, it saves time, kind of, having to make time. But I definitely liked our live reactions. Cause when you take notes, you know what you want to talk about, you know what bothers you, and you get excited cause you're bringing yourself back to the moment of watching it. But as you're watching it, it's just different. I had brought it up to Lyndsay about oh, hey, let's do this all the time. But then it would just make the research part a little bit more difficult, because then, and it would make the nights longer, because we're watching the episode and then we get through it and it's okay, well, now we gotta do all the research, depending on what the episode was. Like, both with the season finale, we ended up not doing research because it was predominantly about demons. And we had already met Meg and had a demon episode and all that jazz. And so we didn't do research. But yeah, it definitely was fun. I liked the real time, like, reactions to stuff. Cause, like, literally we could get through, like, 5 seconds. Okay, pause it. And then we'd, like, rant about something. So it was definitely a lot of fun. And I think it'd also be fun to do that with a guest, too. I know, like, you've been on, her brother's been on, we want to get her husband on. We'll see. Cause he's a big Supernatural fan, but whether he'd do a podcast, I don't know. But I think that would also be fun, to try with a guest as well.
Yeah. One thing I would recommend, if you guys wanted to try it, obviously, because if I'm understanding this correctly, the only time you watched the show was during the recording, correct?
For that episode, correct, yeah.
So what I would recommend, just for being me, I would still watch the show, do all your research and everything, but then play it again while you're doing the recording.
But you don't get like a first time real reaction if you do it that way. What's the fun of that?
Well, because, for example, when I was on your show, I watched the episode, and then when I was on with you guys, I watched the episode while we were doing the show. And it helped me catch things that I missed the first time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because the weird thing is like, because like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys, to change anything. I like what you guys are doing. I'll throw you guys ideas here and there and all that shit, because like I said, I want you guys to succeed. I love what you guys are doing. And I think you guys are going to continue to grow and progress, and, it's going to be great for you guys. For being 22 episodes in, having the passion you guys have, and having, the support you guys have, I think is going to help you succeed so much more. And, never lose that, first of all. Yeah, I can be sweet. Because here's the thing. You're not going to have that first time reaction ever because you've seen the show before. And yeah, so I mean, like, because obviously, what you're doing here right now, and, again, we mentioned it has been, you guys are detailing what happens in the episode of Supernatural. You're finding, pop culture references, which is phenomenal. And it's weird too because we're looking at things that the years that we lived through. This isn't like something from, the 80s that you're like, oh wow, they actually did that. Like we lived this, It's like Supernatural started in what, 2000, was it 2004?
2002. What?
2000?
I thought it was 2005. She's Googling it.
Please Google it. 2002 does actually sound more accurate. Maybe 2003 or 4.
My biggest thing is the stinking look.
Sorry, I apologize. It is 2005.
Hey!
Perfect. So in 2005, that puts me at,
I was 8.
Yeah, so 2005, I think I was 16. So, younger, obviously, than what Sam and Dean were, but, real quick, what were you going to say?
Oh, when you talked about pop culture reference and how, we, lived it, I just think that the attire, the low-rise jeans,
Yeah.
the low-rise jeans and the layered shirts.
Yeah, it's nutty because you sit there and you're watching these things that they're talking about nearly 20 years ago. And to most people, it's like, wow, it's like, people really dress like that. People really, were like that. But then when you sit there and realize, like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to be 34 this year. I was 16 when this came out. I lived through that shit. So it's a nostalgia feel at that point. So for some listeners, you're looking at nostalgia. Other people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I think the nostalgia not only with the pop culture, but in the clothes, but also like the technology.
Oh, like the flip phone,
the cell phones, and just the fact that, Sam had this like clunky laptop and like, just all those things. I think it's, at least for me, because I was 13 or 14 when this show started, so I was a teenager, kind of like yourself, Travis, because we're old.
We're old, that's true.
But, it's like I had those phones. You know,
Yeah.
I had the chunky laptop where you couldn't connect to Wi-Fi anywhere you went.
Mm-hmm.
There was no texting. Like, you know, you lived that old tech era, and it's kind of funny to go back and remember that.
Phones actually had buttons. I miss buttons.
I used to love it. I could do a whole text without looking at the phone.
Oh my god, yeah, I was the best, like, not look at the screen texter,
Mm-hmm.
and because, you know, you had to hit the number so many times to get the letter you wanted.
Yeah.
I did that shit so fast. It was like I was a motherfucking Flash.
I do. I miss the flip phones or the ones you would slide, actually having buttons to push. It's like kids now don't understand. Or that you couldn't be on a landline and the internet at the same time. They have no idea.
Yeah,
They have no freaking idea. Do you know how many times I got yelled at for picking up the phone while someone was on the computer and it messed it up?
more than once.
Oh, yes.
My favorite thing is when you were on the computer and you knew you were about to get a phone call because the speakers would make a funny noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see, and kids nowadays they don't understand that shit. I mean, like there's people that like I see in passing. Like, I guess a lot of this is these wrestling shows and shit. When people want to come, it's like, oh my god, you travesty. I'm like, no autographs, kid, come on. And you know, they're like they were born after like 2010.
Oh.
Like I graduated high school, had a full-time job by the time this child was born. And I was like, holy hell, like they'll never understand like some of the shit that we grew up in. I mean, Morgan, not so much either because she was fucking Sunday school age, you know, participating, not teaching, you know, so it's like, I know, right? Crazy, come on, full circle shit. That's how I do it. But it's awesome because I love how you guys incorporate that into the show. And you guys get to like, oh, you know, in case you missed this was related to this, which happened at this time and everything. And it is and there's a little bit of weirdness when you look at the show in 2005 because they're driving around in an old Impala and they're listening to 70s and 80s rock music. So there's like 4 or 5 generations of shit happening. Another episode that I love, I can't remember which season it started in. I'm going to say 4, 5. Let's say maybe 5. When Dean is gone and Sam converts the Impala to an iPad or an iPod.
Dean gets so pissed.
Oh, he does.
Right? But, and then the thing is, like, when I was thinking about that show the other day, cause I was like, you know, I do love that show. But it does, they don't make iPods anymore.
Nope.
Oh, iPod classics, man.
Yeah, they just don't exist. But that it's a relevant point to the show when you talk about how long Dean felt like he was gone compared to how long he was gone.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Tell me what you guys have planned, or what you guys look forward to the most continuing on this journey in your podcast.
I think, you know, going into season 2, I think we're really looking forward to, and we said this in the season finale last week, is just the fact that we're gonna expand character-wise outside of Sam and Dean and even John. You know, in multiple different directions. So we got introduced to Bobby in the season finale.
Yes.
You know, there are going to be some extra kind of B characters, I suppose you could say, that are going to come into play pretty quickly. And I think we're very excited to be able to talk about them and like the relationship aspect and how those characters play a part in this. And I think, you know, just continuing to kind of watch this grow and hopefully, you know, be as famous as you are, Travis. And
we want a sponsor.
Maybe have a sponsor someday.
Yeti or Starbucks, please sponsor us.
Yeti or Starbucks.
Yes.
Well, I'll see if I can find you guys. I could probably get you guys a sponsor. I mean...
Nah, really?
No, we're good. We're just joking.
No, I'm not.
Well,
sponsor, man.
Here's the thing, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this to you guys numerous times. I don't know if it was on the show, off the show or not, but there is a spot in Freakin Studios for you guys to be a part of it if you so wish to do so.
Travis, And we appreciate it. I just don't think we're quite ready. We are strong, independent women.
Oh my god!
And we like to do things on our own.
Good for you. Good for you. You know, and I respect that because you guys want to do it on your own, and it saves me from having to give you money.
Oh wait, you're gonna pay us?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
No, you're strong, independent women. You guys can do this on your own. You appreciate my offer. It's totally okay. You guys are crushing this on your own as strong, independent women. Don't be the women who want the fucking money now that's mentioned. No, Lamborghini drove away.
I don't want a Lamborghini.
Yeah, well,
I'll take a Tundra.
I'd like to buy a new podcast table, but
we just found one for cheap for like $80. We could use that one.
Anyway.
No, I mean, I get it. I can actually put you guys in, it's not so much in touch, but I can give you guys some ideas on sponsors that are fairly easy to be a part of. It's just, there's things you just gotta go through. Like I said, so for me as a podcaster, when I started podcasting, I had Fire Pit Bar and Grill as a sponsor of my show. And, I think I mentioned it on this show, and I may have, I may not, I don't know, but it wasn't really a sponsorship as it was let's say like a faux sponsorship. It was just mentioned. I was just doing it as a favor to a friend. So I was sponsored by them, but they didn't really pay for the sponsorship. I was just doing it as a way to help them support their shit, but at the same time make it seem like, we got sponsors. But then that led to us having Dappertize.com. And we had them for a couple years until the owner of Dappertize just couldn't run the business anymore. Life got in the way and had to shut down, which was unfortunate. And then we got Audible.com, which it's an easy sponsorship. I can tell you guys how to get that. It's super simple. Anyone can do it. And then we got Ballwash.com, which was amazing until they started doing their, corporate bigger, better than ever bullshit, and we separated. And now I got CarterComics.com. And I love CarterComics.com because it's a personal relationship I have with somebody that believes in us and has faith in us enough to achieve what we want to achieve. And the biggest thing that I strive for with CarterComics.com is find the ability to grow Freaknet Studios as a whole. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm offering you an opportunity to be part of Freaknet Studios as just me. I don't want you guys to think that I don't think you can do it on your own, because I have 100% faith in you that you guys are going to be able to do this on your own no matter what. I think you guys are going to crush it. You guys are going to be successful. The only reason I want to have people join Freaknet Studios is because collectively we can help build each other. And that's like, and it's a community that I want to grow. It's like Potter and Family or Paprika or whatever the fuck you look at when you see these people like, oh, collectively we're part of this, little group. And that's what Freaknet Studios is. It's collectively us supporting each other, promoting each other, and, stuff like that. So I don't want you guys to think it's me trying to, be like a dad to you in any way. I have total faith in you guys. It's just there. I mean, I made the same offer to Clint, so don't think you're special. A buddy of mine who's starting up a podcast, so I offered it to him too, because I want to help my friends and people I care about as much as possible. And the one small thing I can do is say, hey, if you want to be part of Freaknet Studios, you can share your stuff on our Freaknet Studios Facebook page. It's already there. I just add you on as admins. You share from that point, and so it just gives you another outlet to promote your shit. And it just helps as a collective. Like with me and Joe, we do our spooky cemetery bullshit thing. Then you guys can come along and do it with us because it's a Freaknet Studios thing, not this freaking show thing. See what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The cemetery thing seemed fun.
Yeah, but since you guys turned me down, you're on your own. No, I'm kidding. The opportunity is always there for you guys if you change your mind. But no, cemetery thing is a lot of fun. I would love to have you guys on. You just have to travel to Wisconsin for like 2 days in the summer.
Wisconsin's
great. I was recently in Wisconsin, just over the border. My husband and I went on a day trip, and I had New Glarus beer for the first time, which is amazing. Yeah. And we went to the Cheese Palace, which is a great time.
Of course, they would have a cheese palace.
Or castle, or whatever it is.
Mars Cheese Castle?
Of course they would have a cheese castle.
It was great.
this is what I'm going to tell you, Lindsay. Next time you're at Marsh Cheese Castle, I need you to find a bottle. It's called Travis Haas Cherry Pie Shots. It looks like a Jack Daniels bottle, but I believe it's a white label. And it says Travis Haas, H-A-U-S-E, or maybe it's H-A-U-S-E-E, I don't know, whatever. But it says Cherry Pie Shots on it. That shit is fucking phenomenal. if you sit to yourself and like, you know what I love? Do you like the flavor of cherry?
I do.
Okay. Have you ever had cherry McGillicuddies?
No.
Okay. You need to fucking get out the rock that you're under. Go to any bar in the Will County, Kankakee County area. They all have Dr. McGillicuddy's cherry. Try a shot of that. Make sure it's chilled, because if it's not chilled, that bar is a fucking monster. You move on to a better one, and then try it. And then once you love it, realize that Travis Haas Cherry Pie Shots, which isn't a sponsor of the show, but I gladly take their money to talk about it, is 10 times better than that.
All right, I will keep that in the forefront of my mind.
That was a very
100%.
passionate description.
It's a phenomenal shot. And while you're over there doing that, check out the Bristol's Renaissance Fair. That's right down the road. And across from that is the Jelly Bean Factory, and I recommend taking a tour because I've done them all, and they're all phenomenal.
Oh. Well, we did talk about going to the Renaissance Fair, and we ran into some Renaissance people in the bar. But I do love a good factory tour. So
Can you do me a favor? If you go to the Renaissance Fair, both of you need to go. I need you to dress as Sam and Dean as if you were pushed back through time in the medieval era and vlog that shit.
It would.
Vlog that shit.
Why can't I dress like Daenerys Targaryen?
I don't know.
That's not Renaissance.
Sure it is.
What the fuck is that?
Daenerys Targaryen?
Yeah, why does that name sound familiar?
Because it's from Game of Thrones. She's the
Oh, that's why I have no idea what the hell it is. I never watched that stupid show.
Oh my god.
Not that good of a show.
What? No. You just gotta get past season 1, bro. And then it's amazing.
I never got past episode 1, bro.
Well, bro, you have to get past the weird sibling relationship and you'll be fine.
No, you know what I couldn't get past? The midget getting dome. Fucking gave up at that point.
The midget? You mean,
Peter Dinklage?
Yes, he's amazing.
What's his name? My favorite character in the whole show.
He is! He's the best one!
No. I was watching an episode, and all of a sudden he's just some douchebag, little person who's belittling this harlot of a lady. I'm just like, I can't get into this. Same thing with fucking Walking Dead. I couldn't get into that garbage either.
I still haven't finished the very last season.
Yeah, I just give up on it now.
No, I've made it this far. I gotta finish it.
No, trust me, it's okay to give up.
It's not the same. The first few seasons were amazing, and then it got stupid.
It's all stupid.
It's not all stupid.
It is all stupid. Is there an episode in season 2 you're looking forward to the most?
Yellow Fever.
Okay. Is it because of Eye of the Tiger?
Oh, is that when he dances to Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know. I think just seeing Dean scared like that is just funny. And Bobby is pretty funny throughout that whole episode.
I love Bobby.
I kind of like that whole dynamic of things. And I mean, yeah, Eye of the Tiger, it's pretty iconic. It's kind of like Carry On.
Do we meet Jody in season 2? I can't remember.
I think that's 3.
Oh yeah, I think that's 3.
I love Jody.
Yeah, I want to say it's 3 because I think the last time I was binge watching it a couple years ago, so I mean, how well is that memory of mine? I got to think to myself, I'm like, Jody's got to be coming up soon. Because, I mean, the fact that is based off Pet Sematary, and Pet Sematary is one of my favorite classic fucking movies, that's also, like, one of my favorite episodes. Because I not the new Pet Sematary that came out like a few years ago, but the one that has Herman Munster in it.
Yeah, the first one for sure. It's good. And I know we didn't really talk about this, but I do love the writers and Eric Kripke's their dedication to classic horror in some of, especially these early episodes. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I know I mentioned it in the last interview about how the first 3, maybe 4 seasons, but at least the first 3 I know of are like I think they're the better ones because they're kind of like darker. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the technology hasn't caught up yet to what they're going to get in the the later seasons, the mid seasons of that. So they're really, first off, I think they're still really working on like a small budget because Supernatural in the first 3 seasons wasn't really getting the money from the network like it is later on, and it was season 10, 15, 20 and shit. And I loved it that way because it seemed darker, seemed cringier, a little grungy-ish.
Yeah.
And I love that because it gives you more of a scare factor, and I think that's what made it more incredible. And I remember, I'm a bitch when it comes to fucking horror. Can't do that shit. And I love, like, I can sit here and I can watch these Supernatural shows. I'm like, oh god, I remember this part's fucking coming up. I know it is.
Yeah.
But I love that I get to talk to you guys about this. I love that I was there from the beginning, and I love that I'm there still. And I look forward to talking to you guys more about this. You don't have to have me back on your show if you don't want to, but it behoove you because I'm awesome. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about yet that you guys want to let listeners and stuff know about the Babes of Lore?
I really want to get merch. I love a good T-shirt.
So why don't you get merch?
Yeah, well, we can't put John Winchester as a D-bag anymore.
Because
you guys realize he's not a D-bag?
No, that's definitely not
because why. We want people to buy it.
No, I think the big thing is just, obviously we want to continue to grow our listeners. And I know we have to be more consistent about our social media presence, which is on us. But, I think, it's just, we're just trying to continue to grow and continue to be consistent, and we probably should get a TikTok or something, but we'll work towards that.
Well, something that I wanted to say earlier and then I forgot, and then it just popped back in my head was
why were you too busy eating chicken?
No, I'm done eating my food, thank you. It was delicious. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
I want quinoa is the perfect protein. It's really good for you. Anyway, stop distracting an ADHDer with random things, okay? I gotta stay focused.
Ooh, butterfly.
Lyndsay wants to go home.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to be better about when we know that a busy week is coming up or a holiday is coming up, that we record 2 episodes at a time. And that, because I'm just thinking to what's coming in June, and there's a festival that consumes our lives in June. And so I'm already thinking crap, we need to record ahead because it's going to be a busy time. Yeah. And so I want to be better about time management and making sure that we dedicate time to do that, even if it's like a Sunday, Monday, or we do everything on a Sunday afternoon. And yeah, so I want to be better with planning things, and making sure that we don't have as many breaks as we've had. But, something that we wanted to keep at our core is that this, is always fun, and that it never becomes something forced, because then it's no longer fun. And this is just a fun side thing that we do in the midst of our full-time jobs and dealing with life and family and other extracurriculars that we put ourselves in. And so I want to keep it fun, but I want to be more consistent with it as, now that we know, what it takes to make it happen, I think we could do a better job of planning, okay, we know this week, we're, like I said, in June, we know we're going to have to record ahead maybe 2 episodes, because...
Probably 4.
More 4, because, we know our lives are going to be consumed at this time. And so I think we'll be better about it, but that's definitely something that I want to be conscious of moving forward, is that when we have holidays or big life events happening, that we record ahead. But, life happens, and if we're sick or something happens and we can't record, then, such is life. But I want to be better about planning when we need to record ahead and stuff.
I think you guys have some really solid goals. I think you guys have a good plan going forward. And like I said, I'm so proud. Just really am. Just so happy for you guys. And I'm not taking credit for anything. I won't do that as much as I want to. I won't. I'm just kidding. You guys are crushing it and you're doing it all on your own. I'm really happy for you guys. Like I said, the first season, awesome. I look forward to the next 14, 15?
14.
A long time.
A long time.
I want to have more guests. I want to get her husband on, my cousin. He is just a man full of facts. And, not only is he full of facts and just, stupid smart, but, he's also a fan of the show. And, that's one of the fandoms that we relate on, the three of us, is that we all love Supernatural. And we love Panic at the Disco. Those are three of our most bonding things between the three of us. And so it'd be cool to get him on, but whether he would do that, I don't know. He's kind of a party pooper, so I don't know. He says he is. He says he's a realist. I'm like, no, Brian, you're a pessimist. No, I'm a realist. No, you're a pessimist, but it's okay.
I'm a realist. No, I think guests are wonderful. And the way you guys, cause it's different for you guys, cause obviously with me, it's more of an interview-based thing, as I attempt to do here consistently and sometimes fail, but that is what it is for me. But your guys' guests are almost like third chair co-host.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And when you get friends and family on, it's so much easier, because, you got that comfort zone, kind of like how you guys have with each other. You have that comfort that just everything just click. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're just reminiscing about a show that you guys love. Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, I think that's terrific, and I hope you do. I hope you get your husband on, and I hope your brother comes back on, because that episode was amazing. I would love for you to get your brother, who's a douchebag and won't listen to your show, on.
Right!
Well, technically, he'll be here in June.
Hey.
He's been a real
crap about him, but you cannot. Okay, no, that's not how this works.
He's a real John Winchester. Okay.
What? Hey.
Shots fired.
He has his very supportive, kind, brotherly moments. Okay, but he's also very mean and sarcastic sometimes as well. But we've had many of good, nice sibling bonding conversations. But my podcast was just not one of them, and it's fine.
How old is he?
34? Is he 34? I don't know. He was born in 88, so 34.
35 douchebag. Yeah.
Oh, no. He will be, he's in the Navy. He is serving our country, okay?
Oh, God. Cool. Royal douchebag. I don't care.
Well, maybe we can get him on. He did kind of watch Supernatural. I don't know if he, how far along he went with it, but he will be home on leave in June, so maybe we can force him to. The one thing
I'll tell you, I think the benefit for him coming on is, does he do podcasting? Is he a podcaster himself?
No, but he listens to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. So until he realizes how it is to do the show, it's hard to really dictate how the show is. Because, and here's the thing, and this is the thing that Joe's other show we all have in common, is we're not Joe Rogan, we're not,
loves Joe Rogan.
yeah, but we're not, and this thing, we're not celebrities who could buy all this expensive ass equipment and put on these shows. This isn't our career. We all have jobs that we do outside of this. We're not fucking Silent Bob. We're not these big ass dudes. We're not fucking Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. It's when you realize that you get into this as a hobby or a passion or whatever the hell this is to you. When you put out the content that you do, to be judged on it sucks. I mean, when I do and I know Lyndsay's gotta go, and I apologize.
She was just joking.
I was just being sassy.
I get it. It's me. I'm lonely. I never get to talk to anyone, so maybe.
I'm the problem. It's me.
when I look at the cemetery vlogs that we do, and I'm very proud of those because they are being viewed so much more than they used to be, and we're getting so many more subscribers to YouTube. It's phenomenal. Shout out to anyone who does follow us on YouTube at Freakin Studios and watch our videos. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of positive responses, but there are a lot of negatives that come with it. And I understand that doing this shit, that there's always going to be trolls or, negative people that come into it. When it's an individual who you don't know, I mean, it is what it is. Like, okay, when somebody tells you that, oh, the camera's shaking, it makes me sick, I'm never going to watch this again. I get it. We just got a good sponsor that we're able to buy equipment. So the next series, we have a gimbal and we're going to get microphones. Everything's going to be a lot better the next time around. I can learn from it. I had my brother-in-law message me the other day talking about how when me and Joe do these lives and stuff, Joe's really quiet compared to me, who's really loud. And I think that's more of Podbean than it is our stuff. But it's cool because he gave me constructive criticism. But if I was getting negative feedback from a family member telling me like what I'm doing, sucks after only listening for 6 minutes, I mean, that's not a supportive fucking person. That's a douchebag. I love my family. I love my family. My sisters, my brothers, I love them all to death. But some of them are assholes. And it's okay to admit that. And they know it. It's fine. Well, I'm sure your brother's a great person. And hey, he's in the Navy. Support him 100%. Thank him, from me for supporting our, for doing what he's doing, playing his, going to the front lines and defending this country. A douchebag.
He did give solid advice after he
was. What was it?
No, he just said, as someone who listens to a lot of podcasts, like, you just have to be yourself. Like, stop trying so hard to be funny. Like, just be yourself. Make sure you do solid research. Like, don't do some, like, half done, like really do, like, good research. And so, like, he was nice about it, but he started it off with the little sassy, sarcastic comment.
Cool. Do you know which episode he listened to?
The first one.
The first one. And has he listened to any of them since?
Honestly, I have no idea.
You should ask him, because if he's giving you advice on how to do better, he should see if you took that advice and if you did better.
Well, he should. But did he? Who knows?
Who knows? You should ask. I'll ask him.
You'll ask. What would be funny is if we get Brian and Josh on together, because those two are thick as thieves, so that would be funny. It would be I don't think we'd get very far. I think it would just turn into like a whole BSing conversation and them just like making fun of us, and I don't know.
Well, maybe what you guys could look to do, and again, this is just another suggestion, you don't have to do it, is you do do the watch along and the information, and do your shows like you're doing it. I think every season is somewhere around 22 episodes, right? It's all pretty consistent.
Except for the third. The third one has like only 12 or 14 or something.
Oh, because the writer's strike.
Because of the writer's strike.
Yeah. Well, so do the shows like you normally do. Do the whole seasons and all that stuff, and then the next episode. Because I still don't even know if you guys so you finished season 1 of Supernatural. Is your season 1 officially over now, and your season 2 is starting along with Supernatural?
I would say so.
So we really didn't discuss that, to be entirely honest. We didn't discuss like breaking our show up into seasons. Yeah. So I guess we could say yes.
I feel like it only makes sense.
Well, because the reason I ask is when you look at your shows and how you release them, you have them as like episode 1, pilot, episode 2, episode 3. So when you do episode 22, is the next episode 23 or is the next episode 1 all over again?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
That hurts my head to think that.
Well, what I'm saying is, anyways, the thing I was getting to is like maybe at the end of every season of Supernatural, let's go with that. Maybe you just get a bunch of people together and you guys talk about the season as a whole, a collective like recap. Like they do those like goofy, Walking Dead. They do like the Talking Dead or whatever like that.
Yeah.
To recap the episode, but what you guys do is you just recap what happened in the entire season, and it's just you guys just bantering, just bullshit, and just talking and stuff like that, and that could be the final episode of that season until you roll into the next season.
Makes sense. It's a good idea.
It just gives you a little bit more episodes, and I mean, obviously you'll be fine. You got nearly a decade of episodes to cover, so you're not going to run out of episodes anytime soon. It's just another way to get your guys' personality out there into additional episodes and more content for your listeners.
That's a good idea.
I know, I'm a genius. Okay, awesome. Real quick before we say our goodbyes, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and where they can find your podcast.
Yes, so you can find us on social media on Instagram at Babes of Lore Pod. And then our podcast, you can find it on just about any platform, but Spotify, Podbeam, Google, and Apple Podcasts as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming in and sitting with me, talking, keeping me company on this day. Make sure all of you out there, you go check out Babes of Lore, wherever you find your podcast. Make sure wherever you do find them, like Spotify, perfect example, make sure you do subscribe to their podcast and also hit the notification bell so you know when their episodes are coming out, because you guys usually release them every Wednesday morning.
You do.
Don't yawn.
Yeah, please subscribe, turn on notifications, rate the podcast. We'd super appreciate it. We want the feedback from the people who listen, and, we definitely just want to continue to make the content for people who want to listen to it, so.
100%. Make sure you do subscribe to them on Instagram, because a lot of the photos they put out are show-related. And while you're at it, make sure you go ahead and search This Freakin' Show wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Alexa, Amazon Music, Stitcher FM, Player FM. Just search it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out Freaknet Studios on YouTube. Hit the notification bell and subscribe. Again, thank you for all those who are doing that. Appreciate it, love it. Those videos are for you. Enjoy them. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freakin' Show. That's all I got, guys. As always, I am Travesty, and thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.